everybody. Happy new week. I hope you're all doing amazing. I'm here next to one of my amazing authors, Vicki Robinson, who, as you can see behind her, she's got her book there, Dare to Thrive, How to Overcome Chronic Health Issues and Live Life Well. So thank you for joining me this morning, Vicki.
Good morning, Nat. Thanks for having me.
I love it. And how long ago did you get this book in hand? Was it about 6 months?
February, was it?
Yeah. Okay.
February, towards the end of February, I think.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're here to talk about all that. Obviously, the topic for today's live, guys, is Dare to Thrive, Empower Yourself to Live Well. So let me give you an official introduction of who Vicki is, and then we'll get stuck into the conversation. So Vicki Robinson is a holistic wellness coach and hypnotherapist. Her passion is empowering people to actively take charge of their health in order to live well. As a registered nurse and a personal trainer, and through her own personal experience of disease, Vicki learned that in order to heal, one needs to take a holistic approach to identify and reverse underlying problems. After overcoming the challenges of multiple sclerosis, Vicki understands that true health comes through the alignment of personal, emotional, and physical needs. Vicki has over 20 years experience in health and fitness, holding certificates in nursing, fitness, life and success coaching, hypnotherapy, and bio-individual nutrition. Her professional grounding paired with her personal experience offers a unique perspective on health and wellness. All right, and I can see my eyelash just got unstuck, so I better fix that one up so I don't look funny, otherwise we'll take it off. Oh, we better take it off. Now I've got one eye. I'm going to take them both off so I look normal. Good morning, Vicki. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you, Nat?
Excellent, excellent. All right, so let's talk about your story a little bit and what culminated to the point of you writing this book.
Sure. So where do you want me to start? Gosh.
Well, tell us a little bit about, like, I guess, why was this so important to you, and you know, how did you come? How long had you been thinking about writing a book?
I had been thinking about writing a book for years, actually, but I wasn't really sure how to put it all together years ago because I didn't have all the pieces. And then it was kind of the story of my life and my father, how he passed away suddenly, and how my mother got sick and my grandparents' problems. But then suddenly I was dealing with my own problems, and I was like, where did that come from? And it wasn't until I'd sort of figured out my own where that came from and put it all together and started to get back on track myself that it was like, you know what, this is something I really should write about. Yeah. But I procrastinated like we do. And then I think I'd probably come to your retreat seminar back in years ago. And I finally went, you know what, I have to do this, because the pandemic, suddenly it was people with chronic health conditions are going to do worse with this thing. So it's like, no, time to really, you know, wise up. Actually, we need to wise up because chronic health is on the rise. It's scary. It's like people used to get maybe one autoimmune diagnosis. Now they can have up to 4, and it's growing. It's like, it's crazy. So what's going on in our society, in our life that's causing this to happen? So that was what I thought. No, I really need to put all of this in it. It's really just an outline, the book. It's not a detailed, this is how you fix every problem, but it's like, these are the things you really need to look towards that might be what's causing your problems, because it's never one thing. You know, it's like, people focus on diet, and you get all your diet gurus that say you must eat keto, you must eat vegan, you must do this, you must do that, but it's never just about that. You know, it's about everything. So
so you talk about 5 key areas that you know, we need to take that ordered approach in. So let's talk about those. So what are the 5 key areas?
Okay, well, I think really number 1 has to be, you've got to manage your stress. And stress is day-to-day stress, but it's also what's happened to you in your past. And when we talk about stress, you know, it kind of elevates from just everyday stress to what we might call trauma. And to understand trauma, people think trauma's got to be something really bad. You know, it's like we're 20th anniversary of the Bali bombing at the moment. But it doesn't have to be that bad to actually be traumatic. So trauma is how you feel. So it's like two people can be exposed to the same thing. One person breezes through it and is unaffected, and the other person, it's devastated.
Yeah.
It's like it's individual. So we write things off and go, oh yeah, nothing really bad ever happened to me. But you don't know, because you've stored away all of these things from the moment you were born, and
Yes.
it's all stored away there in your body, in your subconscious, and
True.
it has an impact on your health. So I talk about in the book a couple of theories that have come about in the last, I don't know, Stephen Porges, you might have heard of polyvagal theory.
No, I haven't.
No, I'm a geek with all of this stuff. So it's like, so that's one thing. He talks about a lot about stress and trauma and how it affects our capacity to heal and how it actually can bring on disease.
Yeah.
And then there's also Robert Naveau, which he has this theory of cell danger response, whereby basically our cells can shut down energy production in the mitochondria, the little batteries in your cell, in order to try and protect us. So you think about, you get the flu, you feel lousy, you feel really tired, wiped out. Well, that's your body's response to the bug. It's like it's shutting down your energy production so that it's helping to shut down the multiplication of the virus so that you can actually have time to overcome it. So these things happen because of stress, not just because of bugs. So
Kate's just saying on the live, very true, Vicki, the everyday person's trauma about
we don't pay enough attention to the things that have happened to us.
Yeah. How do we know we're stressed? I always I know sometimes, you get busy and lots of things are happening and all that.
Well, I think we need to tune in to how we're feeling. I think we've really become very good at just pushing through, the good old Codral ad, just soldier on, get it done. I was very much a just get it done person, and I paid for it big time, so I really paid for it.
So check in with yourself.
You need to check in and acknowledge, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little bit shit today. I need to be kind to myself.
Yes.
All
right, let's move on to the second one. So stress is one.
Okay, well, stress then impacts sleep, which is really important. So if we're not getting a good sleep, lots of things that need to happen in our body, like the rest and repair is a really big thing. There's a heck of a lot's happening while you're sleeping. And if you don't get good sleep, none of it can happen properly. And then you start to set yourself up for chronic inflammation, diabetes, all sorts of things. So sleep's a big one. We really need, and you need between 7 and 9 hours sleep every night for an adult, and it needs to be quality sleep. So and practicing good hygiene and making little tweaks that improve your night's sleep, that's really important.
Perfect. Okay, number 3.
Number 3, you need to really be careful of what you put in your mouth. It's like you are what you eat. If you eat junk, you're going to get junk. It's simple as that. Nutrition's really important, and also paying heed to stress again, because if you're stressed, you're not digesting properly. If you're not digesting properly, you're not getting proper nutrition. So it all kind of starts to mesh in together and become, each step sort of is interconnected. So
and also if you're stressed, you don't make good choices in what you put
exactly. You're far more likely to comfort eat. Instead of having that one little square of chocolate, eat the whole block. That sort of thing.
I know when I'm tired, I can go for things that are easy and fast. But that's
absolutely. It's a normal thing to do, but just taking a little bit of time to pre-prepare and think about what you're going to do for the week or whatever can make a big difference. So
absolutely. I now pre-order my meals. Someone in our suburb cooks from home, and
lovely.
I go pick up some of my stuff, in the afternoon on a Monday, and I can sort of just for the main really busy days. That I don't want to stop and think. I've already decided last Wednesday because I've chosen from a menu of things the lady cooks from.
Right. It's all about planning, and a little bit of planning can go a long way, and it starts to pay off. Well, you're a picture of health. So
that's not to say I'm 100% always like.
Well, no one is 100%.
Yeah.
None of us can be 100%.
No.
You know, it's like you need to allow yourself to be, you know, to mess up every now and again. That's
Yeah,
okay.
and have a holiday. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about, I guess, everything in moderation,
Mm-hmm.
and having times where, you know, you either, you know, commit, like I do a couple of detoxes a year, and, you know, I've got my regular exercise 4
Yeah.
times a week. Like there's things that
Yeah.
are just like go like clockwork, but then there's
Mm-hmm.
moments where you're going to go on a holiday, or
Yeah.
you might have a weekend where you indulge and all
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. All right, area number 4.
Area number 4, you just touched on it, exercise.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, move it or lose it. It's like it's really important, and especially as you age.
Yes.
You know, it's been pretty much proven that kids, even kids as young as 12, start to lose their balance if they're not active enough.
Wow.
You know, it's like these things are very much reinforced, you know, by
Yeah.
what you're using. So your neural pathways, so this is getting nerdy again,
Yes.
but you know, everything we do has a pathway involved, you know, so you have your impulses are firing down your nerves from your brain to your fingers when you wriggle them or whatever. But if you stop wriggling your fingers, then that pathway becomes weaker, because your body's also trying to conserve energy all the time, because you have finite energy. You know, you have only so much in your cup, as it were.
Does run out. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
exactly. So it's going to, if you're not using it, it's going to go, oh well, I'll put that away because we don't need to be expending the resources on that. So you need to keep using it, otherwise you're going to lose it. So
Yeah.
and it's important for all sorts of things. You know, you need to keep your heart healthy,
Yes.
keep your cholesterol lower,
Yeah.
keep your burn off your blood sugar, and
Yeah.
maintain your muscle mass, keep your bone density. There's all sorts of things. It doesn't matter what's wrong with you. If you've been given some sort of a diagnosis, you're still going to be subject to the same issues.
Yes.
So even if you've, like when I had an MS diagnosis, at first I could barely walk. I was hobbling around with a walking stick and needing to hold on to furniture to get myself around the house. It was pretty bad, but I still did my best to exercise and did what I could, because I was getting worse, and you know, I had to maintain what I had and sort of get it back. So yeah, very important. Exercise is a big thing.
Yeah, it's a muscle. Like, you know, if you want to
Yeah,
keep, you know, lean,
absolutely.
and you know, you got to maintain it. You can't just stop. You can't exercise one week and
Mm-hmm.
go full at it and then
Yeah.
not do it for 3 weeks and then come back to it again. It just has to be consistency, I think.
Yeah.
And I've realized in life, it's not about overdoing stuff.
Oh
It's about
no.
doing it at the
Over.
same time on the same day, and just
Mm-hmm.
do the little short spurts. Yeah.
Overdoing it is just as bad as not doing anything. Like you can overdo anything. You can overeat, you can oversleep, actually. You can even
I
overtrain,
agree.
you know, with the exercise. That was me. I was a fitness instructor and
Yeah, right.
personal trainer, and I was fitting in way too much and doing way too, and my body didn't have time to recover. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like athletes have to take days off to recover. They can't just train every day full on. They need recovery time as well. So
Yeah, I agree. All right, area number 5.
number 5, this is kind of all ties in with everything else as well. You need to have fun.
Yes. So
And you need,
social
yes,
life,
social connection is a really big thing for health. You know, we're
yes.
social beings. If we're not connected with other people, we suffer. So that's really important. But in everything we do, exercise has to be fun, or you're not going to keep going back and doing it. If you do something, how are you going to go back and do something you hate 4 times a week? You're not going to do it. So, you know, you need to have fun in your life. You need to do what you enjoy.
Yes.
And be true to yourself. You know, this is all kind of connected in this. You know, if you're the sort of person who needs to be around a lot of people, then you need to be around a lot of people. If you're the sort of person who only wants a couple of good close friends and just to have quality time with them, that's what you need to also respect what you need.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not everybody needs to be out there with, you know, thousands of friends and going to concerts, and you know, it's like respect your values, I think, is really important too, and know your values.
Yeah. I agree, because some people get their energy from even just being on their own, and that is fun for them. Reading a book or doing activities on their own because they're introverted.
Yeah,
But
my father-in-law lived till he was 92, and we were worried about him after his wife passed away that he would, but he didn't. He loved it, and he didn't have big friends. He knew his neighbours. He knew the fellow who sold him the stamps at the post office, and that was enough. He did really well because that was just who he was. But he also knew how to have fun and how to have family time, and that's what's important. You have to be able to recognise what's important for you and set your boundaries around it. So if you've got people in your life that don't share your values, you have to just kind of learn to be assertive and say, well, actually, this is what I need. It's like,
and
you need to be a little bit selfish sometimes.
Learn to say no and do you enjoy. Sometimes you can compromise, to make your family members happy, but then make sure you give back to yourself.
There needs to be give and take, but you can't be just all give.
No, I agree. So let's summarize: stress, sleep, nutrition, movement, and what do we?
Social connection, fun.
Fun. That's right. Yeah. Look, I did pretty good.
No, you did well.
I love it. So you talk about doctors may not have all the answers, but you do. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Well, your doctor can only know what he knows. Doctors are trained to look at a set of signs and symptoms and attach a label to that and treat it accordingly. But you know how you feel. Your doctor can't know how you feel. I can't know how you're feeling right now. I can look at you and say, well, you look pretty comfortable, but I don't know. How could I possibly? I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict how you're going to be feeling next week or what might happen to you. It's like, but I know how I feel. I know what's happened to me in my past. I can look back and go, well, actually, what was happening to me when I first started feeling bad? When was the last time I actually felt well? What was happening then? You've got all the answers. It's just a matter of finding them, going back and sort of through your timeline and working out, well, actually, what went wrong? It's like,
looking at the reference points as to what was
absolutely, and right back to childhood. What might have happened back in childhood? Was that time the teacher stood me up in the classroom and told me I was stupid because I didn't know how to spell that word? Did that actually have an impact? Because you'd be surprised some of the things that my clients have come up with. When I use hypnosis, in particular, to come up with things that are the cause of their problems, you'd be really surprised some of the things that come up.
Very interesting stuff, because you're a hypnotherapist, so you do
absolutely
timeline therapy.
And your body knows. Is there a feeling that you get? Maybe it's that knot in your stomach or the pain in your neck that started back when your mother passed away, or when something else bad happened, you witnessed something happen, and ever since then you've had headaches, or it's like, it could be something, there could be something there, but unless you really go back and have a look through and sort of pinpoint those key points in time, it's like, then it might start to make sense.
No, absolutely. And I think taking a holistic approach, not just going to a doctor, but even visiting therapists like yourself and speaking about some of the things might help you identify the root causes.
Definitely. Definitely. And some people have trouble with emotions. If you're a person who's finding that you're really angry all the time, well, that's a really destructive emotion to be living with, and it's not going to be doing you any good. So you need to deal with anything that's coming up that's not conducive to good health. You've got to deal with it, because you're not going to get well until you do.
So tell us a little bit more. So what are some other things that people are going to get from reading your book?
Hopefully hope.
Yes.
And a sense that and a sense that actually there's a way to get better. There's a way that things can be better than this. Wherever you are now, there's always a chance that it can be better.
don't give up and, follow some of the advice.
Oh, yeah, because if I had followed my doctor's advice, I would have just given up and accepted my lot. And I probably would not be sitting here talking to you now, So if I'd just, I was told, just prepare yourself, but this is going to get worse. It's like,
yeah,
I was congratulated for needing to, for actually accepting that I needed to use a mobility scooter, the little granny scooter that, yeah, I was congratulated. It's like, good on you for accepting your lot. It's like, and I'm like, no, this is just too much hassle. It's like,
so how did you turn that around? What was the mindset that you needed to tell? From a diagnosis of having an MS diagnosis to, them saying it's just going to get worse and worse. What did you need to tell yourself? I
was lucky. I had patients over the years that had defied the trends, and I drew on, those people actually as inspiration. I had a fellow who was a paraplegic who said he was going to walk one day, and we all used to go, oh yeah, poor fellow, he's delusional, it's never going to happen, one day he'll have to accept it. And then a few years later, years after I'd left that hospital, I was watching I don't know, current affair or something, and there he was. And he was shuffling between parallel bars, but he was the one making his legs go. And it's like, yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, so you look at other people's references for overcoming what was seen to be impossible.
Yeah.
You pulled on that and said, well, I'm going to be one of those people as well.
Yeah, I've put quite a few examples in the book about some of my patients and clients over the years and the things that they were able to overcome.
Yeah.
Just by deciding that you're going to. Just decide. It's like, I'm going to do, you can't.
Work. Yeah.
Can't set yourself up to fail, but you can decide, I'm going to do what I can.
Yes.
To be better than this. And once you make that decision, this will work with you. It's like whatever you focus on, you get more of.
Exactly. Yeah, I know that, through my coaching as well. And what you feed your brain and what you say to yourself, and
it all matters. Yeah, absolutely.
And you tackled those 5 areas we've covered off, and built on those to reclaim your health, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I love that. So let's move on to talking a little bit about the process of writing a book. And how did you find it? Obviously, you came to us to help you bring it into the world, during the pandemic. So how did you find the whole, journey of Ultimate 48 Author?
It was actually really good. It was cathartic. It was helpful for me too to actually put it all down in a cohesive form, because pulling it all out of here and putting it in a way that other people can understand was really actually helpful for me. And if it just helps one person, my job is done. But I know it'll help more than one person. But it's really important to me that other people can improve their health as well, because life's too short to live it poorly.
You want quality, not quantity.
Absolutely.
You want quantity as well, but we want most importantly quality. There's no point in having quantity if you're bedridden or you can't move or anything like that.
You need to be able to enjoy life.
Yeah, Jadine's just saying in a comment, the book sounds so informative. I just went to Amazon and have it on my Kindle now. I look forward to reading it. This is one of our Florida authors who is, starting the journey. Well, she's finished with the book. She'll be going into publishing soon. But
right.
Yeah, there you go. You've got someone who you'll be getting some wisdom from your musings there. Yeah, amazing. And how long did it take you, from retreat to book in hand? So we said about February it came out.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. So what was retreat was November. So that was 3 months.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So you were really just what I always say, retreat, and generally 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, I literally just kind of pushed everything else aside and just went, I'm not going to take on clients. I'm not going to do anything. too
I'm just gonna get this
extracurricular.
done.
It's just like I'm just going to focus on this and get it done, because you know,
Yeah.
that's part of my
But
personality, I guess.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
and it can work against me, so I needed to push other things aside so that focusing on the book was not taking away too much of my energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I always say, I mean, writing a book is a temporary pain in the butt because,
Yeah.
you know, you put in those 3 or 4 months, and
Yeah.
now, like, you know, it's been out since February. It still hasn't even been a year, but
Mhm.
people, I'm sure people have gotten it. You know, you've worked with clients. You know, now someone else is going to read it. You know that, you know, it's
Yeah.
watching people who are watching this interview. Probably more than one person's gonna, you know, tap into the wisdom that you've got there, and you know, and again, the inspiration as well. If you can overcome you know, the diagnosis you were given and the stories that you share in your book, that can give hope, as you
Yeah.
said, young people.
Absolutely, because that's what you need. You need that little thread to hang on to. Yeah.
So what's next for you? So what, the book's out now, what would you like to see
What's
yourself
next
doing?
for me?
Yes.
Well, I've kind of got this group coaching program in mind
Yes.
with possibly, I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet, possibly an online course to go alongside it, or not
Yeah.
sure quite how the pieces are going to come together. But
Yeah.
really, I want to be able to help as many people as I can, but also introduce people to other people who are on the same journey, because I think doing it
Yeah.
alone is really tough. But if you've got a little bit of a supportive group of people who understand a little bit of what you're going through, I think that's helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, trying to tweak your diet, even just sharing ideas about how you can work through and do something better. You know, it's like if you find yourself unable to eat eggs, for example, but you still want to make a cake.
How do you go about it? Yeah.
How do you go about that?
Community. I think you should definitely start a community, you know, maybe like a Facebook group, and you know, so people can kind of share and you know, learn from one another. I always find when I'm in a course or something, a problem I want to solve, right? We solve various problems. It's not just health, it's, you know, family, or you know, and I go into a community and you can see the language and the thinking is all very similar, you know, and if it's about chronic health issues, you know, people can share, you know, ups and downs and successes, and
for
little
sure.
bits at a time. Amazing. All right, so where can people buy your book?
Well, like you said, someone's just got it on Amazon, so
yes, Amazon and all your good online resellers, guys. But I've got Vicki's
website. Also get it on my website. Yes.
Yeah. So this is her website, Vicki Robinson. There she is. So Vicki spelt with an I. Robinson, just normal, .com.au, just for the purpose of the podcast, because some people on the podcast cannot see what I'm showing on the screen right now. And you can look through the website. It's got a few different areas there that you can check out different pages. If I flick out of just the book page, I can go back to the home page, and there's a lot of awesome information here about services, blog, all that sort of stuff on Vicki's website. Just takes a little bit of time to load, but here it is. It comes through. She's got a wealth of information to go through. So I really, really, really appreciate your time this morning. I can't wait to see and hear the feedback you receive as your book, trickles through the world. And the beauty of it is that, yes, you can find it online, in so many different places, not just directly from you. And that was the whole purpose, is that so random.
Yeah, I think it's even on Walmart.
Yeah. I think Target, I think Barnes & Noble, Booktopia, Fish Pond, all of those places, because of the distribution network. And I love when my books sell to random people who've never heard from me for a bar of soap, you know what I mean? And they've actually read it, and then, you get this email and they go, oh, I found your book here. And even my son Judd's book sells a lot to random strangers, and that's kind of a nice feeling, because then you're reaching out so far and wide to people who...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the whole point of doing it, is to help people, right? So
yeah. Oh, well, congratulations. I'm super proud of you and of how well you did the whole process. And I wish you every success, and thank you again for sharing. It would, even though these things are like, we've spoken about eating, movement, all that kind of stuff, so it's common sense, but still it's an issue because why are people getting sicker? Because we're not looking at it.
Absolutely.
This is a great reminder, guys, for those of you that were here on the live. It's a great reminder of like, well, am I having fun? Am I stressed? Am I eating the right food? Maybe like put those 5 questions somewhere near your desk, and each day at the end of the day, check in with yourself. You know what I mean? You know,
it's really easy to get so busy that you forget.
Yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, I haven't been sleeping well lately, or whatever always happening in life. Kate's just saying, congratulations, Vicki. I wish you all the best. You're doing such great work. Well, let's leave it on that. Have an amazing week, everybody, and as always, smash it out.